Hello, hope you're having a great day. Now, if you've been watching these videos, you'll know that my life's a bit manic at the moment. I'm very busy doing a variety of stuff. And you know what? That's an excuse for my mind to try and tell me that I don't have time to do everything. You know, it's an excuse for my mind to make me start worrying about getting everything done that I need to. And it's an excuse for my mind to start telling me that I don't have time to do things that I know I need to with regards to my health and fitness. But because of the way that I analyse my mind, because of the way I see my mind for what it is, I find that being busy and having a manic life is actually a benefit to me. It's actually a reason for me to be less anxious, because I understand that whilst I'm busy and whilst I'm focusing on the present moment, focusing on what's in front of me, there's less chance for me to be anxious, less chance for me to worry about how busy I am. Because ultimately, if you're fully focused on what you're doing right now, you're not worried about being busy because you're too engrossed in being busy, right? The only time you worry about being too busy is when your mind is trying to drag you into the future, to worry about a future reality where you don't get everything done. Right? But the future isn't real. All that's real is the present moment. So I find that being busy keeps my mind occupied, and there's less chance of me being anxious or feeling negative about anything, as long as I focus on what's in front of me, one thing at a time. So essentially, if you can make sure that you're not allowing your mind to make you stressed about being busy when it tries to drag you into the future, to imagine you not being able to get stuff done, then you can use your busy life as a reason for you not to get anxious, if that makes sense. Now, when I wake up late, or, you know, if I've got a really busy day, my mind will try and tell me that I don't have time to do things that I know I need to do, you know, with regards to my health and fitness. It will tell me I don't have time to go for my walk around the block. I don't have time to sit down and meditate, etc., etc., etc. But because I'm able to see that for what it is, you know, and accept that the most important thing in my life is my health and fitness, you know, once I've sort of batted that thought away, then I'm just able to bring my focus back to what I need to do, you know, every step of my morning routine, and crack on with it. Whereas if I was to sit there and allow my mind to sort of think about, oh, you know, if I do my full morning routine, I'm not going to be able to have time to do all this other work I need to do, and blah, blah, blah. You know, if I was to waste time and energy thinking like that, then I would start getting anxious about, you know, whether I've got time to do everything. You know, yesterday I had a couple of big boxes of merchandise through the post that, you know, have come a bit later than I was hoping, and it's all stuff that I'd promised would get delivered to the people that ordered it before Christmas. So for the last week or so, I have had thoughts in my mind, you know, getting anxious about maybe that stuff not coming in time and not getting delivered in time for Christmas. But whenever I get them thoughts, I just see them for what they are, you know, they're just thoughts. Those thoughts aren't going to help me get that stuff to people in time for Christmas. Then them thoughts aren't going to make those parcels get delivered any quicker. And if I spend a whole week worrying about those parcels that haven't arrived yet, you know, what other stuff am I not getting done to the best of my ability whilst my mind is worrying about these parcels that haven't arrived, you know? And then also, what state am I going to be in when they do arrive? You know, I'm not going to be in as good a state as I could have been, you know, because I've just been worrying about something that is beyond my control. So nowadays, I just see a busy life as a way of making me less anxious about stuff, as long as I just focus on one thing at a time. You know, a busy life will take my mind away from things like wanting to take drugs and wanting to drink alcohol. You know, they're just a tiny, distant thing when I'm really, really busy. And as long as I don't let my mind make me anxious about the concept of being busy, then being busy actually helps me not get anxious about anything. Now, there are some people out there that, you know, they'll have a really busy life, you know, their life might be a bit manic, and then they use that as an excuse to go and waste time and energy doing things like getting intoxicated, you know, getting stoned, getting drunk, or sitting in front of a computer game for hours and hours, you know, trying to get an instant dopamine spike to sort of make them escape from the anxiety they've got because their life might be a bit manic or their life might be a bit uncomfortable. But if you do that, then you deserve the fact that it's not going to make it any better. In fact, it's going to make it worse. You know, if you intoxicate yourself, you're giving yourself a dopamine spike. Not only are you wasting time that you could have been spending doing all these things that you need to because you're busy, but also, you know, you're giving yourself a dopamine spike, and then inevitably you're going to end up being in a state where you're below baseline in terms of your dopamine. And when you're below baseline in terms of your dopamine, then you're going to feel even worse about the things that you're feeling bad about. So you're going to put yourself in a state where you're even more anxious about the fact that you're really busy, or about whatever it is in your life that you're not really happy about. And then you'll have to waste more time, you know, recovering, you know, from your hangover, etc., etc. So it just compounds, you know. You're anxious about your life, so you go and get drunk, and then, you know, it's just a big cycle and you're making it worse. And, you know, you are doing that to yourself. Whereas what you could do instead is just see it for what it is. Okay, my life's a bit busy, or there's something about my life that isn't ideal at the moment, but what is it that I need to do right now? And focus fully on that. And whilst you're focusing fully on that, if you are focusing fully on it, you haven't got time to be worried about anything negative. And then when that task is done, you move on to the next task that you know you need to do, and, you know, repeat, rather than wasting time and energy and your health trying to escape from that situation. Anyway, in terms of my morning today, I didn't get out of bed until 8:30. I did go to the gym super late last night, but yeah, 8:30 has sort of become my new time to get up when I don't need to take my beautiful girlfriend Kat to work, to use her car or whatever. It's still a battle. Like, even at 8:30, it's still a struggle. I just sort of look over at the clock and think, right, it's 8:30. I have to get up now, like, regardless. So, you know, I got up at 8:30. You know, my mind is sort of trying to tell me that I don't have time to go through my morning routine because I've got all this merchandise and stuff to pack, which has to go to the post office today. I've had more orders through the night as well because I launched some new merch in the video that I released on the other channel yesterday. So yeah, there was loads of thoughts there telling me that I didn't have time for my morning routine. But you know what? My health and fitness is way more important than even those products that I've promised to get people before Christmas. You know, that is how I live my life now. My health and fitness is the most important thing. And then everything else, I won't say falls into place. It's still hard work, but, you know, sort of falls into place if I put the effort in. So I did go through my full morning routine. You know the drill if you've been watching these videos. First thing I do is have a load of water to wake me up, and salt water. I have my vitamin C supplement. Then I've brushed my teeth, went for my walk around the block. I've written in my journal. I've had a meditation session, and it's time for me to bang out my workout here at home. And then I can jump in my cold shower, have my breakfast, and then dive into all the work that I need to do today. So I'm going to do lateral raises with the light dumbbells, shoulder press with the light dumbbells, then I'll pick up the other dumbbells and I'll do these things and my bicep curls that I need to squeeze in that I missed out last night. Alright, well, today has been manic as expected. After we had our breakfast, we dived into cracking back on with getting all the merchandise orders ready and packing them and taking them to the post office. We actually had a bit of an issue with the boxes that I buy to pack my merch. I didn't have enough of the larger type boxes, and yeah, there was a fair few orders where people have ordered multiple garments. So we had to sort of figure stuff out and use a couple of other cardboard boxes that I had, that I was using to store some of my mugs and stuff. So yeah, we worked it all out. And then we had a bit of grief trying to find a post office that would take, you know, 30 odd parcels. Some of the smaller post offices that are inside shops just aren't interested. So yeah, that took a while. But yeah, got all the stuff posted. But by then, it was clear there was going to be no time for me to get around to the garage and work on my favourite car today. And at that point we was out in the car, and Kat already had her gym stuff with her because she was going to go straight to the gym. So I ended up dropping her off to the gym, and then I had to go and see a company that's going to be helping me out with some materials for some upcoming jobs on my car. So yeah, really cool sort of business opportunity there. And yeah, had a load of traffic to get through, you know, it was sort of school ending time. So yeah, been running around all day, managed to get the merch side of things sorted, but unfortunately unable to go to the gym, which isn't the end of the world. I've already done my 3 for this week that I sort of commit to nowadays. Gonna go boxing tomorrow, of course, and yeah, unable to work on my car, but it's all good. I'm gonna need to go and pick Kat up from the gym in about 40 minutes, but I've just managed to come home here and have some lunch, and of course I'm having chicken and cheese and salad sandwiches with a cup of coffee, and I've got to have a protein yogurt as well. So yeah, it's been a manic day as expected. I am actually planning to get round to the garage tomorrow morning and crack on with working on the car before I go to boxing. And to enable me to do that, I'm going to make sure that this evening I wrap up all the merch orders that have come in since last night. Because yeah, there's a load more because I've launched some new merchandise, and yeah man, just staying busy, and that's the key to a successful life in my view. It's not about relaxing, it's not about searching for comfort, it's not about, you know, seeking out little dopamine hits here and there. It's about working, it's about accepting that if you're focusing on what you need to do, that is how you live a happy life. You know, a byproduct of not focusing on happiness but focusing on purpose means you end up being happy. You know, all the people out there that are just forever seeking happiness and comfort, they're the ones that are never happy. You know, ironic, isn't it? Anyway, time to eat my lunch, and I think I'm actually going to try and do a bit of editing on the video for this channel, yesterday's video on this channel, before I go and pick Kat up. Work, 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 work. All right, well, it's fair to say quite a lot has happened since the last clip. You can see I'm certainly looking a bit different after my well overdue haircut and beard trim. Because I'd left it so long, I really underestimated how long it was going to take me. But we're now on the way to Kat's work for her work Christmas do, later than planned because it took so long for me to do my hair, but yeah, it is what it is. So this is going to be another one of them situations where not only am I going to be in a social setting where there's loads of strangers, and you know, naturally I am quite socially awkward, I am introverted, but also, you know, it's another situation where people are going to be drinking and I can't. Although I say I can't, but it's got to the point now where I don't actually want to. But, you know, there's going to be some sort of thing inside me that's going to obviously reminisce about the times where I used to go out and get absolutely wasted. So, yeah, I'm not going to say that there's not going to be any thoughts there that are wishing that I could get wasted. It's just that there's so much more important stuff going on in my life that means I don't really want to get wasted. But yeah, hoping that they sell coffee at this place, so at least I can have some sort of mind altering substance. But yeah, let's get to Kat's work do. All right, well, I survived the Christmas do. It was totally fine. I basically just sat there most of the evening, you know, doing stuff on my phone, keeping myself occupied. Had some more orders for merchandise and stuff while I was out, which was pretty cool. And yeah, it was absolutely fine. People were doing karaoke, having a drink. I was just there on my best behaviour, and yeah, just thinking about coming back here and doing some work, to be honest. And that's exactly what I did do when I got home, even though, you know, it was around midnight. I've actually been packing some merch orders to give me a bit less to do tomorrow morning. At the end of the night, a lot of Kat's colleagues were sort of planning to go out. The actual Christmas do was held in a social club, but yeah, people were sort of talking about going out to some club, and, you know, there was definitely a tiny bit of FOMO, you know, fear of missing out in the back of my mind, but, you know, nowhere near enough to overpower my desire to keep focusing on my health and fitness. Yeah, one of Kat's colleagues actually said, sort of made a comment as if to say, oh, you know, Kat's not allowed out. Like, I was like, look, I don't decide what Kat does, you know, it's just not my scene anymore. But yeah, Kat obviously didn't go with them. She came home with me, and she's been helping me pack the merchandise up. So look, tomorrow is Saturday. Tomorrow I will be going boxing at 12 noon, which, you know, is going to hinder what else I can get done. But, you know, my boxing class is very important to me. Tomorrow morning I'll be getting up and just focusing on getting through my morning routine, and then seeing what time I've got left to, you know, pack the rest of the merchandise orders up. I would love to make a start on working on my favourite car around the garage here, you know, what I didn't get to do today. But yeah, it's probably not much chance I'll have time to do that. We'll just have to see, you know, one step at a time. Just need to focus on waking up, then focus on going through my morning routine, and then seeing where I'm at. One thing I do need to do before I go to bed, drink my smoothie. We actually forgot to have our smoothie yesterday that we have every day, which I've banged on about so many times on the channel. But, you know, we put kiwi fruits, frozen blueberries, in some pomegranate juice that we buy in a carton, add some natural yogurt, and blend it in our smoothie mixer thing. And yeah, I've read so much and learnt so much on the internet about how healthy kiwi fruits and blueberries are. I just like to have this smoothie every day, but we did actually miss out on it yesterday, and we nearly forgot about it today. You know, it's not ideal having all that fruit at, you know, 1:10 in the morning just before you're going to bed, but, you know, I find it very easy to get in and out of habits. So, you know, this was almost 2 days in a row that we sort of forgot to have the smoothie. And yeah, I find myself in situations where all of a sudden I just get out of a habit, you know, get into a habit of not having something, in the same way that I find it very easy to get into a habit of having something that I shouldn't have, i.e. drugs. But yeah, gonna down my smoothie. Got this GABA supplement that I have every night as well. Can help, you know, relax you and help you with sleep, but also good for building muscle apparently. It's not a sleeping tablet, not by any means, but yeah, my big brother in Thailand reckons that it can help slightly with insomnia. Certainly doesn't cure mine, but yeah, I have that every evening before I go to bed. So yeah, that's the end of this video. I will be back for another one tomorrow. Massive thanks as always to everyone who's tuned in. Hope it's been somewhat helpful or motivational. Feel free to jump in the comments and say hello for a chat, or get in touch with me through the usual channels. All the links to everything will be in the description as usual. But other than that, I'll chat to you tomorrow.